Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the True Crew Podcast. It is I, Freddy 2O, my boy Miggy Slap, my boy down here Pbl 31, aka Pablo, and my boy Pbl Gaming, aka Matthew. And today we're gonna give you a little recap of the Last of Us series, and just pretty much give our feedback and opinions on it. So, without further ado, here's Pbl Gaming.
What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another Last of Us video. So where we left off was where it was episode 5, where we ended off where Henry and Sam, Henry killing himself obviously, and Sam getting infected, thus killing his own brother. So then we move on to episode 6, and episode 6 is where we see Joel, and Joel is reunited with Tommy, right? Well, we can talk about that really fast, right? What emotions were you guys having when Joel reunited with Tommy again?
Well,
because Tommy had a little mustache going on, you know.
yeah, he did. Yeah, me, it was a little touchy for me personally, but I'm not gonna get too into it. But I kind of felt for that, you know, not seeing your brother for a long time, and then actually being reunited with his brother. It was kind of heartwarming. And it was, and I'm kind of glad that he knew Tommy was alive, and they were able to reunite after 20 plus years of not seeing each other, and thought it was pretty heartwarming.
Well, they looked at each other like they were fucking ghosts.
OD.
I found it like mad funny at first because like when Joe called him and he was like standing on top of that thing. And he looked down at Joel. He looked at him like who is this nigga? Like, who are you? He had to walk up close. Oh my god, Joel.
He's like, Tommy.
The way they meet is actually different compared to the way they meet in the game, right? Tommy meets Joel at the gate, right, when they're about to shoot him, right? Yeah. And then Joel is actually already invited into the town, and then he sees Tommy like on like a little metal stair well or something like that.
My man saw him from deep too. My boy Joe got the my boy got the eagle eye, bro. He saw him from a distance. Like, I don't know how, bro. Everybody in that place had black hair and shit. Like, I don't know how he spotted him so so easy, but it was tough though. I like how they redid the reuniting scene in the show, because it was like, you know, when they first got to the town in the episode, I mean, not in the episode, in the game, it was like right there, like immediately he saw him, boom. But it's like it added a little bit of mystery in the show, because like he got there, he still hasn't seen him yet. He didn't see him in the party that came and attacked them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it would kind of like, for the people that haven't played the game, I feel like it would give them, you know, like a mysterious thought, like maybe he's not there and he has to keep looking for him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna look around for him and he might not even be here. You feel me? So I thought that was a cool little change to it.
Now this little part happens in the show, and I wanted to touch on it really fast. So there's this scene where Ellie and Joel are eating with the food that Maria and Tommy give them, and Ellie like cusses out this little girl in the corner. And there was speculation that little girl was Dina. Do we actually think that little girl is Dina from part 2?
No questions asked. The girl looked exactly like her.
I don't remember that part.
It was like a little girl was like staring at Ellie when she was eating, and then Ellie like cussed her out, right? And it looked like a younger version of Dina.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
I don't really recall Dina that much.
Yeah,
but
it would be The Last of Us for them to do something like that, though.
The way the show's been, like with their little like Easter eggs and accuracy, like I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. Okay, but what happens after that is that Joel eventually goes into a room with Tommy, and something that's different compared to the actual game is that Tommy admits to Joel that he's actually having a kid. And as far as I know, in part 1, Tommy never admits that he's having a kid, right? And in fact, in part 2, he doesn't even have a kid with Maria when Joel dies and stuff like that. But there's like a little touchy moment within Joel and Tommy, and then afterwards you see like a vision of like Joel looking at another girl, and he thinks it's Sarah, right? So it's actually like it's like a deja vu moment for Joel, and then he sort of has like a, I don't know, like a little like attitude with Tommy after that, and then they get into a little like hissy fit, and then they go into another room again where they're talking again, and Joel and Tommy are like. This scene is, I think for me, it was a lot more serious than it was in the actual game, where Joel is openly admitting to Tommy what he wants Tommy to do for him, right? And you don't really sense it in the game because Joel like was a really like stuck up guy, but here you see like a side to Joel that we don't normally see. Like he was breaking down in tears, and you can see how much he actually cared about Ellie, and that's why he was afraid to continue with her, right? So we could talk about that scene a little bit. What were your guys' thoughts during that scene?
Well,
this was before or when Joel was trying to give Tommy the responsibility to
take Ellie to the Fireflies, right?
Yeah,
because that was a very touching moment, because Joel in that scene, right, like in the game when you replay the game, right, Joel is basically like the way that argument actually like finishes is them having an argument, right? Like basically Joel is telling Tommy in the game how he needs to repay him the debt that he owes him from taking care of him all those years, right? But in the actual game, like Joel is like breaking down and he's crying, and he's actually hurt at the fact that he has to admit this to Tommy. And he also mentions something that isn't mentioned in the game, where he's like, this is your chance, I'm quoting Joel here, is like, this is your chance to bring your child into a better world. And looking at the ending, right, it seemed like what ended up happening was the exact thing Joel was afraid of, right? Like Joel ended up ruining the entire plan that the Fireflies had with Ellie, right? But we'll get to that later. But yeah, the thoughts on Tommy.
I mean, I feel like adding the kid was a really nice touch, because Joel already had like set in his mind that Tommy was definitely gonna, go with his plans. He already came like, with his ammunition and his reason. But I feel like Tommy having that kid in the show, it created like a new level of conflict. You know what I mean? I feel like it made it a little bit more deep, because they could have made it a lot more simple, and he could have just, been with this Maria girl, but no other attachments, no responsibilities, no children. You know what I mean? And then it would have been a whole different story, Joel asking him to do this. But since he has that kid on the way in the show, that now gives, like a more adulthood level issue. Like, I can't really risk my life like I would normally do for you, because I'm going to have a kid now. So I feel like that was a nice touch to create that new level of conflict, like toward the resolution that Joel was trying to reach. But as far as the room that they spoke in the second time, that was a very different side of Joel that we seen from the game, like you stated. I felt like that was needed when it comes to a live action standpoint. It definitely added a lot more emotion to the scenario, and it let us really see how much Joel was really opening up to, the thought of Ellie and Ellie being around. And it started to definitely reflect that he's looking at Ellie not as a reincarnation of his daughter, but like as a daughter like figure. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I feel like that was definitely interesting to see.
Pab, Fred.
I agree with Miguel. It definitely gave it like a different perspective, adding the kid versus emotionally versus in the game. But for me, what hit the most, and I think it really showed in the video game too, was how much you see Joel hurting from emotionally from like giving up Ellie to Tommy and giving him that responsibility, because you see how you can tell he's bothered by just giving him like his younger brother the responsibility of doing something that he's supposed to do. And then you think about their relationship in the past, and I know Tommy had mentioned, or in not Tommy, but in the show and in the game, mentioned about the terrible stuff that they did to survive in the past. And so you see that struggle with that, and then adding, this Ellie situation, it's just like a lot going on emotionally for both of them. So that's like probably the biggest thing that I see that I can compare to when it comes to the game and the show. But yeah, like when you adding the kid, and makes you look at things from a different point of view. And if let's say it makes you think like, damn, like he has a kid, bro, like he should not go. And if he does go, like if that's like a way that they went to just change the story up completely, it makes you more invested also. So yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I could see why they brothers, yo. They both petty.
OD.
yeah,
They both petty, yo. They both petty, my nigga. You wanna know why they petty? They petty because first of all, what Tom said, that shit was fucked up. Before they went to the second place to talk, when he was like, yo, just because your life ended doesn't mean mine has. That was fucked up.
Yeah,
That was fucked up, bro, because basically him saying that is basically him saying in another word, in other wording, just because you lost your way because your daughter died doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that was a whole nother way to put it. Like just because your life ended, you know what I'm saying? It was just a shorter way to put it. So he's petty, and Joel is petty as shit because when they was arguing, how he gonna bring up age? Like my man's dead, brought up age. You remember that? He was like, "Yo, you younger, bro. Come on, you could do this. You younger. I'm old." Like get the fuck out of here, bro. Get out of here, bro.
Yeah,
you walking on your 2 feet just fine, bro.
I think I saw like in that aspect, there's like two siblings arguing with each other. It was just like like a nice sibling fight after not seeing each other for so many years, and he's trying to like they being petty or whatever. So like yo, my man, you could do this, bro. Like the hell you mean? Like I'm an old ass man and you a young ass dude. Like. And it's just insane, bro. I just lost my train of thought. My bad.
What Tommy said, bro. What Tommy said, that is not something you say after not seeing a nigga for 20 years, bro. No lie. If I was told, I would have punched him in his face. I would have punched him right in his face.
They were both being
right in his shit.
That's my life ended. But I kind of see like Ellie filled in that role and that void that was in Joel's life. Not having. Losing his daughter at such a young age and being pretty much fatherless for 20 years. And now Tommy's going to be a new dad for the first time. He's going to be a dad for the first time. So this is all new to everybody. So it's like Joel starting over, and he's trying to that's why I feel like he took on Ellie to fill in that void. And that's why he looked after her, and he was like, yo, listen, it's best that she stays here. It's nice here. You guys got a system going. And yeah, it's that's how I saw it.
Yeah. Okay. So afterwards, right? We can talk about this last scene. This is how the episode ends off. Is where obviously Joel ends up taking Ellie himself, and obviously when they go to I think it was the University of Eastern Colorado, which is where Tommy told him to go, right, to find the Fireflies. He is told that that they need to go to Salt Lake City to find the next Firefly base because that one closed up or whatever, right? And then, during their time of escaping, right, Joel gets hurt, obviously, right? In the game, right, the scene where he gets hurt is a lot more brutal and it's a lot worse. Like he falls from like a second story, like
gets fucking impaled,
right? And then he falls literally on top of a pole, and the pole goes through his stomach, right? Like that's way worse. And then in the scene, with the what was it, the hunters, right? They just stab him in the stomach.
The Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders. So then we move to the next episode, which is actually like a bit of a filler episode, but they added in at the right time because it explains a lot of what's going through Ellie's thoughts throughout this process where Joel's actually hurt. And they talk about Ellie and Riley. But before we move on to that, right, we could talk about Joel's scene of getting hurt, right? There's a lot of differences, right? And like, for me personally, right, like with the way The Last of Us has worked, right, it's like they tend to add like when they change things, right, they tend to go like above your expectations with things that they change. So for example, in the first episode where they're with Sarah and they're trying to escape and go to like Mexico or whatever from Texas, right? Instead of getting crashed by the car, they literally drop a whole freaking airplane down to the freaking city and they get hit by that, right? So I thought like the way they were gonna like make Joel get hurt was gonna be way worse than just falling on a pole, but they just let him get stabbed by like a little tree branch or some crap like that. But yeah, go ahead, you guys can talk.
Go ahead, Fred.
Sorry, man. I think the reason why they changed that part, maybe I'm looking at it from a director standpoint, having to keep doing a take where you have to fall off 2 stories and make it look like you're getting impaled every time. I think that might have. I mean, I don't think money was an issue for them because I don't want to get too ahead of the episode or whatever, but I think I have zero production director experience, but like from what I understand is like what a director wants to do is not take as many takes as possible or whatever. So maybe that's why they changed it. But I thought it was also a little, I thought it was also touchy that they added. I call this the DLC episode along with everybody else who played the game. We get to know how Ellie grew up pretty much after, pretty much we really don't know what happened to Ellie in her background. This DLC kind of explains and goes into like a past friendship where ended up being a relationship with her best friend Riley and her military school Fedra training and all that stuff. So I thought that was the way they did that. It was pretty similar to the game, and I really enjoy that as a fan of the game and as the show. They absolutely did a great job with all that.
I'm not gonna lie, that particular scene with him getting hurt, I thought it was like lazy, the fact that they didn't make it more intense. But
yeah, I agree.
But
yeah.
But because if you think of, that was like a big part of the story, like him getting hurt, because it literally transitioned into Ellie in the game. We had to play as Ellie, so it literally transitioned the whole story to Ellie being the point person. So I feel like they should have made it more, more intense, more dramatic or whatever. But it's fine. I mean, it didn't make or break the whole show for me. So
right, but like Joel doesn't even notice at first that he was stabbed, right? Like he gets stabbed, and then like he looks at Ellie, and Ellie's like, Joel, and then he looks at his stomach, he's like, oh crap, I'm stabbed, right? And then he takes the knife out, right? So it's just like, you didn't feel the tension that much, right? And like that scene where in the game was so tense. Like this dude was literally walking like back to the horse with a hole in his freaking stomach, bro. Like
I didn't think when I was playing the game, I didn't think he was gonna make it. But you see, but because I mean, I knew what was gonna happen. But if I didn't know what was gonna happen and I was watching the show, I would be like, oh, he's just like stabbed, like he'll make it. The game, I didn't think that. I thought he was done.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of sat back and thought about it in like multiple ways. So I kind of came up with my own summary when it comes to that. I have mixed feelings about it because it definitely, compared to the game, obviously, in comparison to the game, it was underwhelming. Because the game's injury scene was much more gruesome and exciting. So in that aspect, it was definitely underwhelming. I can see where Pablo was going with the lazy comment. But like when I sit back and look at it a different way, I think about a few things. One, I don't think it had anything to do with the takes and stuff, like Fred said. I think it was more along the lines of it being a video game versus real life, right? So I feel like the only reason it was able to be that gruesome in the game is because it was a game. I feel like if you look at it, if you really sit back and look at it from a real, like, realism standpoint, we have a very small girl, young, trying to aid a grown man with a huge injury, right? So if you really sit back and think about it, how was Ellie able to keep him alive in the game? If you really think about it, he had a whole hole through his body, bro. How did they even make it anywhere? How was she able to save him in the game, bro? That's a whole hole in your body. If that would happen to any one of us right now, we would need to go straight to the ER, like a whole surgery, bro. That's a whole pole, bro. That's a whole pole through your body. If we think about it in real life, if that was real, Joel probably would have died before he even made it anywhere.
Correct.
If we really think about it, right? So that's the first thing I think about. So if you come with that train of thought, right, it really lands on one main aspect: video game versus real life. So if they would have went with that same route in the show, right, there could have been speculation that, like, bro, if this was real, like, how is he even alive right now? You know what I'm saying? It would have made multiple things harder. In regards to Ellie versus the game and the show, I think that Ellie was a much more capable girl in the game. You know what I mean? I feel like since they have to make it more realistic, since it's live action now, they have to give her more of that, you know, like, she's tough, but she's still pretty useless because she's a little girl. You know what I mean? So if you think about that aspect, there's no way she would have been able to keep Joel alive if a whole pole, like, he had a whole hole through his body, like, realistically speaking. You know what I mean? It would have made the scene more difficult where she's, like, stitching him up, because, you know what I mean, like, what she would have did, she would have put him on his side and tried to, like, stitch up two different holes or something. You know what I mean? It would have made so many things harder because it was real. In the game, you never seen her do any of that stuff. She just, like, it happened, and next thing you know, he was laying down in the shed and she was hunting in the game. They never showed anything. But in this circumstance, right, they actually showed her, like, trying to stitch him up, trying to give him the medicine. So I can see why they probably felt like they had to go that route to make it slightly more believable, you know, because even when she stitched him up, it was still, like, you know, it was still getting infected. It was still on the verge of infection. You know what I mean? It created much more realism, because if you think about it in real life, even though it was underwhelming, you can really die from a simple stab to the stomach in real life. You can really die just like that easy. You know what I mean? So when I look at it in a realistic point of view, I kind of see why they didn't go the route of the video game injury. That's really all I have to say on that.
Right. Yeah. I was just, it does. It's just, I was assuming that they would go with something more, maybe not as overwhelming, but maybe something that's a little bit less underwhelming than getting freaking stabbed, right? Like, yeah, you know, like, it's just like getting stabbed. And it didn't even look like a knife. It looked like a branch this freaking idiot picked up from the floor or some crap like that. Like, it didn't even look like a real knife.
It was like a twig.
Now, when he pulled it out, bro, that knife looked kind of big, bro. I'm not gonna front, bro. That looked like a nice little 5-6 inch blade, bro. Imagine that shit in your stomach, bro. You know, that's doing some damage, bro. I'm just saying. And that shit probably dirty ass knife.
All right, but you know, we go to episode 7 where Riley and Ellie, this is the Left Behind DLC, the Last of Us Left Behind DLC, where we see Riley and Ellie, and we start off with seeing Ellie in school, right? And this isn't something that's seen in the actual game, right? We see life of a child growing up during this dreadful and, like, you know, like, diluted time, right? And we see it's more of like military school, right, where, like, the people in school are, like, trained to, you know, be security of the, like, the camp. And I think Ellie's under Fedra. It was what it was called.
Ellie was a bootlicker.
Ellie was like a troublemaker in her school. So we see that from Ellie, and we saw that scene where Ellie rocked that one chick. Y'all saw that?
Yeah, I wish they would have showed the punch, like, just the first punch at least. I wish they would have showed it. Shorty messed her up, bro. Shorty put her in the ER.
Very anticlimactic.
But yeah, then we see Ellie and Riley, they meet, and then they go to the big mall scene. And I gotta say, we could talk about the set a little bit because the set looked so good. Like the abandoned mall, right? Like you see like a Foot Locker robbed, right? You see like a Victoria's Secret there, right? It looked like a modern day mall that you would normally see, but it literally, like they literally adapted it to like a Last of Us like theme.
Dude, I actually seen like a piece of because I don't usually watch like the full, behind the scenes thing at the end. Like sometimes I watch, like I'll skim through half of it just to like look for interesting details and stuff, but I never really sit there and watch the whole thing for every episode. But for that particular episode, I watched a little bit more, and it's really like astounding how they put that mall together. Like, bro, everything was literally from scratch inside that mall. Like they created every store from the ground up. Like the Halloween store, every little product in there like was placed in there, everything. So like they put so much attention to detail in it. It was amazing. Not gonna lie. But you could definitely see where that budget went.
OD, bro. I was about to say, that budget is crazy. But
the whole show, like everything was so on point, like all the details and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely top tier. The aesthetic is crazy of the game.
One thing I was gonna say about this set is that you see everything like in ruins, right? You even see the food court, right? Like you see you dead see like a Taco Bell or something like that, like in ruins or whatever, right? But the one thing that's not in ruins, and I don't even know how this is possible, is the freaking arcade. Bro, the arcade literally looked like it was an arcade that you would see if you went downtown mall right now, it literally looked perfectly intact.
My man said it looked like New Rock.
It literally looked like Dave and Buster's.
Video games live forever, baby. Video games live forever.
Yo, come see me in Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. That's the next thing.
Yo, so I have X.
We see the scene where they're playing the game. We see the scene where they're playing the game, right? And in the actual game, right? And Left Behind, right? They're playing this game with like, and then the main character's like angel knives or something like that. So it's like a made up game, right? In the actual show, though, right? It's a game that we've all probably played as Mortal Kombat, right? On like a little arcade machine. First of all, Riley's a freaking cheater because she probably played that game all the time, and Ellie was still giving her the work a little bit. But
how she knew the fatalities though?
Yo, you just
she was living
buttons,
there,
bro.
She was living there, bro.
Bro, so no, hold on. No lie, both of y'all points don't make no sense. You know what's doing those fatalities are, bro? My man said press all the buttons. You will never get a fatality doing that.
Bro, I did. I'll tell you. Look, I got into a whole debate at work with this. Like, yo, my man, you never learned that. I was like, yo, bro, chill. First of all, I had that game for the Nintendo 64. I pressed all the buttons, and I got a fatality. Was it successful every time? No.
Yo, you probably got like the wackest fatality in the game. You probably got like some up down B or some shit like that. But bro, some of the fatalities in that game are so intricate, bro, to do. Like you gotta do up, left, specific. B, A, up, down, X. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, there's no way. And she knew multiple, bro. She knew multiple of them. Like,
I'm pretty sure
she was practicing.
Pretty sure my brother's gonna watch this.
Practicing my ass, bro. She found a strategy guide or something. I'm not gonna lie. There was a little
read the back of the
machine in there or something. Yeah, for sure.
And okay, so then we move on to the scene where they get infected, right? And this is like the main like point of showing this episode, right? Difference is like they don't even get attacked by like a pack of infected like the way they do in the game. They get attacked by one infected. And obviously they're fighting off the infected. Riley freaking sucks with the 9. She freaking is dirt with the 9 because she freaking sucks with all her shots. And then we see Ellie to the one to take down the infected zombie with her knife. And then we see the scene where Ellie gets infected, right? And I gotta say, we could talk about this a little bit. The scene where Ellie gets infected, right? The anger Ellie actually shows when she gets infected, in my opinion, is better in the show than it was in the actual game. Like, you see how pissed off she gets. Like, she's screaming, and then, like, I don't even think she gets a bat, like the way she does in the game. She gets, like, an axe or something like that, and she starts, like, breaking all the glass, right? And you see her face turn red, like her like, and it's probably the actor, right? Like getting in that sense of anger, right? But like her face turns red and she's like pissed off. You know what I mean? So we could talk about that scene a little bit. How did you guys feel about that scene?
So I would have been like, Riley, shoot me.
Yeah.
Oh God,
it was
bro,
emotional too.
You would have been intense. You would have been tense, bro. You rather get okay. Let's talk about this. Would you rather get your head blasted off or become infected?
Get my head blasted off.
Yeah, for real.
Because
quick and painless, bro. Quick and painless.
Yep.
Dang, really?
You would have gotten infected,
but like, I mean, you rather get shot. I guess,
because it's like, because think about it, bro. Like, you're sick, pretty much. You like.
But you don't know what it feels like, though. What if you just like?
But
why would you want to?
But all I know is
you're gonna feel the fungus coming out your mouth.
You're gonna feel like a bunch of little wee-wees coming out.
But what if it feels like what if you feel like a beast though? Like you just feel like a
I kind of feel what Matthew's saying in a way, because I'm not gonna lie, I would be shook to commit suicide, bro.
Yeah, there's that.
I was scared, bro. Like picturing.
I don't think I'll do it to myself though.
But still, even giving the gun, like, if I give the gun to somebody else, knowing that they about to shoot me in my head, bro, I'm gonna be mad scared.
Of course,
bro, I would do some firing squad type of thing. I'll blindfold myself like in the cartoon, smoke a cigarette, and just
I don't know if I could kill myself, bro. I don't know if I could kill myself. Bro. I don't know.
Nigga said in my face, my boy trying to feel it.
Yo, listen.
Freddy, you good?
Like the anticipation of like death is just more scary to me than becoming infected. I don't know why, right? But like holding a gun to my head, right? Like to me, like that would be more like that'd be more terrifying than actually getting infected.
See, I didn't think you meant like, you doing it. I thought you meant like someone else doing it. That changes the whole thing.
Or like, okay, even like someone else doing it, right? Like if someone was looking at me, pointing a gun in my head, and I know they about to shoot my brain out.
I mean, it's not easy, but at the end of the day, it's all about what it is that you like. Because nobody. I would just hope whoever I'm with just reads my mind, and I don't have to tell them to kill me, and they just turn around and fucking shoot me without
either that or like.
or I would just pretend that I'm already turning, and then they have no choice but to kill me. I don't know.
Then you know you're gonna die anyway.
The problem is that nobody knows the feeling of turning.
Right, and then they're openly willing to express it. Right, yeah. No one knows what it's like to turn, and they can tell you what it was like to turn.
It's like something like, oh, you just feel really sick and you go to sleep, and then you wake up and you're a zombie, but you're dead. And then, you get killed, but you don't feel you getting killed. I'd rather do that then.
But getting infected is probably the worst feeling in the world, dude.
Yeah, but when you're
whichever was the least painful one, I'm going with that.
All right, but like, what if infected actually feels being like? What if being infected actually feels nice? Like hypothetically, like what if you feel like a free chaotic monster and you're just like?
My man said, "What if you feel like that demon that got slashed by Kocho in Demon Slayer when she did the butterfly joint? Remember, she was like, "Oh my god, what is this? So peaceful." Her head just fell off.
Yo, but listen, I get the curiosity. Like, yeah, you want to see how it is to feel. Like, damn, man, I wonder how this really feel. But me, nah, bro. Like, I feel like, because I know it's totally different. But when we had COVID, right? We thought we were gonna die, right? That's how we felt, bro. I had a headache. For 3 days that would not go away. Bro, like, and I feel like being infected would obviously be way worse than that. If I couldn't stand having COVID, I don't want to know what it's like to feel infected. But I get the curiosity. But at that point, just shoot me, bro. Like, again, I'm going with the blindfold. I was like in the cartoons, bro. Just go firing squad.
I guess it depends on how painful being like sick like that is. If it's like
you're having a whole fungus coming out of your brain, bro. Like, I don't know how to then. But now my question, now my question is, since I'm already fat, do I automatically become a bloater? That is the question.
Oh, that's a fact. Me too, though. So it's okay.
Just turn me into Wesker. If I know I'm turning into Wesker, I'm good.
Matthew, well, that's a different virus we're talking about.
I'd be a stalker.
You be a clicker.
The freaking melted candle.
Nah, he'll definitely be a stalker, Pablo. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he does.
Hiding behind the walls.
How about you?
Nah, Mig.
Oh, you, Miguel? You be a stalker or a clicker?
Nah, I wouldn't be a stalker.
Nah, he'd just be a regular runner.
I'll probably be a regular runner. I'm not gonna front.
For some reason, clickers are taller. They appear taller.
All right, but
what if the fungus just makes them grow?
Yo, got him.
All right, but moving on, we go to episode 8. And wrapping up episode 7, right? We see the scene where Ellie's like stitching up Joel with like, I don't know, some like yarn or some crap she found in the no, it wasn't yarn, but she obviously stitches Joel. And episode 8 is where we go.
I think it was thread.
It was thread, right? It was thread that she found in the drawer, right? But you really see though in that episode that like Riley, like her going through that situation with Riley is like she knew, right? Like she didn't want to let somebody else down, someone else in her life down, like someone like Joel, especially someone that she's massively dependent on. So that was like a very touching scene to see what Joel was doing, and the way they formatted that in the show is like you really see what was going on through Ellie's head throughout that specific moment with Joel, right, with the flashback and stuff like that. But episode 8, we go into that episode with David. First off, we can talk about how amazing it is that they added Troy Baker, who is the original voice actor for Joel in the game, as a hunter. I think it was like what was it? It was David's like right hand man or something like that. He does end up getting smoked, but you know.
Yeah, rest in peace to that man.
I didn't even notice it was like Troy Baker at first, but
wait, the dude with the brolic beard?
Yeah, that was Troy Baker.
Oh,
that was Troy Baker.
Yo, he got smoked.
Yeah, Ellie with the knife on his neck,
dusted, yo. Oh my god.
But this episode here is probably like the most like similar to the actual game, right? The only difference I can really think of is like they take off that scene where David and Ellie are attacked by infected, you know. But other than that, everything else is pretty similar to the actual game. Of like that scene where Joel is like threatening like the guards and stuff like that, and then that other scene where Joel, like Ellie's in the cage and that conversation that they have and stuff like that. We do see something of David apparently being like a religious preacher, right, for the Bible. I don't know if it was Christianity or Roman Catholic or something like that, but we see that from David, which was a cool touch, right? You see a lot of like the background of David, right, and you see, right, like the background of the actual village that they were coming from.
Especially when he backsmacked that little girl.
Oh my, that was dumb funny. I don't know why that was dumb funny.
Bro, she fell right out her chair, bro. My man's hit her with the.
She was like, you should find them and kill them both. My muscle went pow right to her face, yo.
Yeah, I was messed up.
But we can talk about the character David.
And then he helped her up, yo. Disrespectful.
I got tight.
We can talk about the character David, right? And I don't know, but like playing the game though, right, with David.
Let me not say nothing.
That playing the game with David, right? You know that ending like final boss scene where you're Ellie and you're going against David, right? Like for me, that was scary, dude. That is scary. Like David looks like a demon. And the way he's like chasing you with the plates, and oh my god, oh my gosh, that scene was so scary. It was probably the scariest like boss fight in the game, bro. But
that was actually the most fun in the game.
But we can talk about that area. We can talk about David, right? We can talk about his intentions. All right, you guys can give your thoughts on that. Go ahead.
What about he was about to rape her?
Yeah.
David is a freaking jerk.
Yeah, he's one of those like it just goes to show you that this country as a whole has a problem, and that's one of the problems, that these people use religion to create cults, and then one guy takes over and he has like 10 wives and he takes the little girls, and now he's taking advantage because of the pandemic that they're in. Pretty much an apocalypse, not the apocalypse that some of us believe, but this is clearly an apocalypse in their world. And it just I think that's a serious problem in this world. Like they got these grown men taking advantage of little girls, and people follow them because they promised them food, shelter, and everything. And then it turns out that they were eating. He was eating the people. Like it was like, yo, we couldn't find deer, we couldn't find caribou or whatever the hell they were hunting for. There was no meat, there was no food. So it was like, I bet I'm just gonna eat whoever. And then they had everybody like pretty much killing people, and the cooks killing the people and cooking them. And you could see it in their face. Like you could tell they were very uncomfortable and very disturbed by the rest of the cultists. Like they were like, damn, what did I get myself into? And unfortunately, David had strong followers too. So that was it was just like real like crazy. And I'm kind of glad like they kind of stuck to the game a little bit in that aspect. When Ellie goes, "Oh, I'm infected." Beautiful.
Yeah, they were also known as the cannibals in the game too.
Yeah,
they were cannibals.
I forgot about that. Sorry.
Yeah, they were cannibals in the game.
That part of the game, I mean, the game and the show, was probably the most disturbing part of the whole thing. Only because, like, from every angle, them eating humans, the whole thing with the occult stuff, and then the thing with raping, underage children. It was terrible. But I was gonna say that the ending part of that can we talk about it, Matthew?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so when just the scene of it, like the house that they were in, it was so identical to the game. I don't know if you
about the place that was burning down.
Yeah, the place that was burning down.
The restaurant. Yeah.
Oh, they're like in a resort, right?
Yeah,
I think they were in a restaurant or something.
They were in a
restaurant. In the restaurant, this scene, yeah.
Mm-hmm. In the game too, though, I think that one difference in the game was that when Ellie was like killing David, in the show she killed him and then she went outside.
Oh, right.
In the and then that's where Joel found her. In the game, she kept killing him and hitting him with the sword or whatever it was that she was hitting him with, and Joel had to come inside and stop her from hitting him. Mm-hmm. I wish they would have kept it that way, but
because I agree.
That part was more emotional.
I agree because to show that Joel had to come in and be the one to stop her, right? It was more sensitive for that moment because it shows that Ellie knew what he was trying to do, right? And like her like freaking like stabbing him over and over again in the face, right? It was like I don't think she would have stopped unless someone stopped her because she was so like pissed.
She was so scared. She was scared, pissed, like full of emotion, and it literally took Joel to stop her. And she was about to swing at Joel too in both the show and the game.
Yeah.
So
why they make my boy fit the freaky pastor stereotype, yo?
Not all passes are like that, though. Come on now.
But I said the stereotype. I said the stereotype.
Yeah.
I said they all like that, but like, bro, let's be real. Like on all the cartoons, especially like South Park and stuff like that, bro. The pastors are always weird little pedos that like doing.
You talking about priest? Calm down.
Oh, okay, sorry. Whatever. Priest, pastor, schmaster, whatever.
Schmaster.
That's a discussion for another day, but we're not gonna mention any names. Roman Catholics.
Point is, they got dudes in religious dudes, fake religious dudes being pedos and shit. They fit in that stereotype. They have my boy fit in that stereotype. But aside from that, like, when it comes to like accuracy, I also wish that it went the same as in the game, just for that part. But at the same time, like, fuck it, bro. Let her get her licks in. She almost got raped, bro. She had to get her licks in, bro, until she was done. Let her go over until she was done.
She hit him with like 25, yo.
I'm not gonna lie. They should have showed us his face for like 2 seconds after she was done. I'm not gonna lie. It probably looked like a skirt steak.
Yo, for real. I was gonna say the same thing, but in the video game, did they show his face?
Nah,
right?
I wish.
They didn't show anybody. Yeah. But I was gonna go ahead. No, go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say in the show, it showed. I'm not sure if they did it for the game, but in the show, it showed like Ellie's plan the whole time was to burn the building. Did they do the same thing in the game, or it wasn't? I don't know if you guys saw that too.
I think in the game it was an accident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was.
She did it. like that was her plan. I wasn't sure, but
I didn't even notice that.
Wait, was that her plan in the show?
I don't
know.
Okay,
I think they did it just to give it the same setting. I think they did just to give it the same setting.
I don't think she planned that in the show.
I remember her doing something purposely with the fire to make the building burn. I don't know. I could watch it back, but
maybe she was trying to throw something at him and he dodged it and it caught on the curtain.
Maybe maybe
or something like that. Because I don't think she like strictly planned to burn. I think she just wanted to escape to get back to Joel.
Yeah,
you're probably right.
But back to this dude's face, yo, that shit probably looked like pastrami sliced up.
But like I was
he deserved every shank that Ellie gave him, bro.
I was gonna say, like, it just brought out the human nature in some people. Like, I don't know if you guys ever got overly frustrated or overly stressed and you just freaking take something and break something. I experienced that. But like you could see the human nature, that like all the stress she's been through, and then how she almost got raped and killed by some psychopath, and she just took out all that frustration, all that loss and anger. She took it out on him. I thought that was pretty cool too. And then to see it live, like with an actual human, not like a CGI video game, like it's really touching, and I like that.
Bro, anger and confusion, bro. Look at the world she's born into. She doesn't even know what rape is. Right. Like, she don't even know what that is, bro. All she knew is that this grown man was trying to rip off her clothes, bro. She don't even know what's going on, bro. Yeah. So, got his ass diced up. All right, go ahead, Matthew. Sorry.
Moving on to the last and final episode for season 1 of The Last of Us, because it is confirmed that they're going to come with a season 2 for part 2, that they're going to adapt into several different seasons, but that's whatever.
Attack on Titan.
I was about to say they're gonna milk it like Attack on Titan, but anyways, final episode.
I think they'll come out before Attack on Titan. Honestly,
probably, but. Moving to the final episode, right? The setting for the final episode looked like the exact, like it literally looked the exact. I think it was more accurate compared to like the actual like scene of like the mall, right? Like on the road, right? And then the scene with the giraffes, right? We could come back to the giraffe scene, right? And then the scene with like the abandoned it was like the abandoned like medical care places or stuff like that. Like all of it just looked so accurate compared to the game. But the main thing that did look accurate was the scene with the giraffes, right? You see the giraffes, and then in the distance you see like the football field, right? You see like it literally looked the exact same as the way it did in the game. Like that looks so crazy. I don't even know how they did that.
But they said they used a real giraffe for that.
I believe it.
Yeah, they did. It was a real giraffe. It was not CGI. That was a real giraffe.
That's fire.
That is fire. Oh my god.
Y'all didn't know about that?
Nah.
I didn't see the after credit thing.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
You know what? That's my fault, because I saw it on Instagram. No, the after credits didn't say they used a real giraffe. I saw it on Instagram literally yesterday. I was gonna say,
didn't want to send it.
No, because why? Because I figured y'all either saw it and then you're gonna tell me I'm mad late, or two, I could use that as a talking point today. And yo,
Fred, you
prep, kid. Yo, I was so hyped when I found out they used a real giraffe. They go, yo, like how
not
much
just one, they use like 7, bro.
It was a whole family of them.
Like, my man, how much money do you have to get all these giraffes? Bro, like I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them. Yo, I love how they spend this money.
Over $100 million.
Bro, this budget. We need yo, Matthew, can we look up the total budget for this show?
I think it was 100. I think it was 100 million.
100 million? That's sick, bro. Yo, I thought it would be freaking like 500 million. But yo,
that's giraffe. That part.
I mean, we'll never really know how much. It's really all just estimate. And they said, and the amount that they gave was they said season 1. They didn't say the whole show.
Bro,
season 2.
But yeah, that's crazy, bro. Not even just the fact that they got real giraffes. It's like, bro, like them giraffes were trained, bro. They really brought trained giraffes in there, bro. Like they came in at the perfect time. They ate. My boy ate the leaves, left, like started walking away at the perfect time. Like, yo, bro, like what?
Yo, did you see
like,
the tongue?
What happens if you mess up a take, bro? Like to get the giraffes to repeat that again?
I think no. I'm reading it right here on. According to IGN, it was one giraffe, and the giraffe's name was Nabo, and I think the rest of the giraffes are like CGI. I'm pretty sure.
Background giraffes.
Yeah, the background giraffes, but the one that was actually eating was a real giraffe.
Yeah, that's still fire, bro.
That's crazy. OD, that's crazy. But the aesthetic of that part was wild. That was fire.
Yeah. I appreciated the accuracy from that to the game. Like literally the whole thing. The way Ellie first found the giraffes, how she threw the ladder and ran, and then Joel was like, "Yo, bro, how you doing?"
I honestly thought like people, a lot of people who haven't played the game don't really understand or appreciate. Like I feel like when this particular scene with the giraffes, that was such a great, like, people like I find it so underrated, that scene in the game. And I was hoping and I was praying, thank you Jesus, yo. Bro, like I was I was hoping that they included this scene. I was like, yo, they gotta do the giraffe scene, bro. If you don't do the giraffe scene,
because that scene,
it shows the innocence of like Ellie's
I was gonna
life.
say, it really shows the innocence of Ellie more than anybody, because she's probably never seen a giraffe before, and just like it brought like that little kid like of Ellie part out of,
and
of
like
her.
and it found like some kind of like peace during this like horrible time. Like, wow, like as another creature, and it's not attacking me, it's not trying to kill me.
Yeah,
you know, if it was a lion, then rip. But
especially because she was still like messed up in the head. She was acting weird for that whole episode.
Yeah.
From what happened to her, I was gonna say, and Miguel and I were talking about it yesterday about the way the beginning of the episode started and how they paid homage to the real Ellie from the video game, and how she was the one that gave birth to Ellie in the show.
Oh yeah, that was such a nice addition, yo. Like I did not expect them to go that deep.
I forgot to go to that. Oh my god, Ellie's mom.
I did not expect them to go that deep, bro. That was such a fire addition to the show, bro.
That was so fire.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that they included the original voice actors from the game in the show.
So much fan service, man. So much fan service. That was great.
And we actually see what happened. Like I don't even think we've seen it in the game yet, right? But we actually see what happened with Ellie's mom, right? Like she was infected, right? And she gave Ellie to Marlene, and she asked Marlene to kill her, right? Like
she was infected. She got infected. She got bit while she was giving birth.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
She didn't even cut the cord yet, bro. Like she was still giving birth when she got bit.
And I'm kind of glad they kind of show that backstory of how Ellie is actually immune. And I don't know, bro. It's crazy. Like it's like you could find the cure like that, bro. Just freaking I got a messed up head, yo. I'm sorry. Just impregnate and get them infected. Yeah, we found the cure.
Nah, that's messed up, bro.
That is messed up.
What do you define messed up in a world like this? Right.
But in that world, yo, whatever it takes, kid.
Yeah.
Shorty was like, I cut the cord before I got bit. Before I got bit. You saw Marley was looking at her. She was like,
I don't know, bro.
Lying. Like,
what you talking about, Willis?
I have to shoot you in this, baby.
Nah, but that was a fire addition to the show.
Yeah,
really
that was dope. So, are we headed to the final points now?
The final thing with Joel. Okay, we see Joel obviously. Here's Ellie is about to have brain surgery. And obviously Joel's gonna step in to save Ellie, right? The scene where Joel is like with the scene where Joel is like killing like the fireflies, I swear, bro, that looked like a freaking Terminator trailer, bro. Like this dude was
It was fire. So fire. Every detail of that part was so fire, and it paid so much service to the game because that's literally exactly how it went in the game. Like you started from downstairs and worked up every floor. Like that's literally what he did. He looked at the sign, seen where the surgery room was, and started from all the way downstairs, bro, and was just scouring each floor. off and everybody, bro. Oh my god.
I felt like I was reliving that moment again. Like I don't know how y'all
The
felt,
nostalgia, bro.
but bro, like the nostalgia.
Dude.
And
My man Freddy got the PlayStation controller and started.
yo, OD, you saw me with my hand.
Yo, it hit so different, bro. It hit so different.
It was fire. It was. I like that part,
It
and
was just like the anxiety and the excitement, like at the same
Yeah.
time, all those emotions going through at the same
relived.
time. Relived, bro.
You know what
I was
oddly
gonna
made
say-
it better for me? The fact that there wasn't like it wasn't loud. Like when he got to the point where he
Yeah.
started going through each floor, they just played like that low eerie music,
Yeah,
and they just literally just showed him like almost muted, like just off and everybody. Like
yeah,
it
that
was-
hit.
You can tell how focused
so
he
fire.
was, bro. 'Cause, like,
And
in that
he
scene
was
alone-
on. Go ahead, Matt.
No, you go. I was saying my point. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say he was like on straight savage mode. Like there was a scene where a dude was like giving up. He put the gun down and he still shot him. And
that dude, as soon as he leaves him, he's gonna pick up the gun and try to shoot him in his back.
Yeah, bro. Nah, I don't care. And that
But you
world,
know-
yo, you getting killed, bro.
no,
It's funny, bro.
100%.
It's mad funny because Joe really just like he was doing all that, and Joe really just looked at him like his face did not change. He just looked at you like what are you doing, bro? Like you done?
that's not gonna
like what are you
matter.
doing?
One thing though, I don't know what you guys did in the game when you played it, but at the end when he reached the surgery room and he kills the doctor, did you guys kill the nurses too or not?
Oh yeah.
You have to.
see that.
You have to.
I know, but he didn't do
kill
that
the
in
nurse.
in the show.
And I don't know if I don't know, Matt. I don't know if you knew, but that the actress who played Abby was one of the nurses. I think.
Really?
How
was he supposed to know that? She had a mask on. It was bullcrap.
What?
Oh wait,
Wow,
no.
that's crazy.
I had to check my sources again, but I think it was the one who played Abby. Let me.
Another dope part. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but when Joe left, they turned the camera to the doctor, just to kind of show things to come. I don't know if you guys seen that.
Joel killed
my man
Abby's
said-
stupid dad.
Yo, my
Yeah.
man said, "I'm not gonna let you take her." Bah! my boy said,
My man
"Sit
brought out
down."
the
I didn't
surgery
ask
knife,
you,
bro.
bro. Yo,
He
bro,
brought
a scalpel, bro.
There you go.
Like, bro, like my boy just came off of a stab wound from a knife like 6 times as big as that, bro. What are you gonna do with that?
Right.
Like, what you about to do with that, bro? Like, you gonna cut my pubic hair with that shit? What you gonna do with that? I got a whole strap in my hand. Like, what are you doing, bro?
I'm not gonna lie.
He's
Abby's
so
bad guy.
stupid.
So it is according to Looper.com. Who
You said Lupe?
Looper Looper. Looper. Yeah, so it says the actor behind OG Abby stands between Joel and Ellie in season 1.
Can you send
So,
it so we can
I
see?
got you right now.
Yo, that was like
on IG.
that was literally like Joel's coldest moment, bro.
Yeah.
I
Literally.
That was his coldest moment. Like out of the whole show, obviously he's killed people throughout the show, obviously, but that moment right there, bro, is like you literally seen, because even he said like killing people, he still feels a way about it. Even or like all of the people even the infected that he kills, he said he feels a way about it because he's human, so he still feels a way killing people. But like at that point, bro, he looked like a goddamn serial killer, bro. Like he was cold, bro.
Savage,
He was
bro.
cold. He was looking like the dude from Taken, walking through that hospital.
Yeah,
But you have to understand, he lost his biological daughter 20 years prior, and I think he didn't want to make that same mistake. I'm sure he lived with the guilt, because remember in that episode he talked about pretty much committing suicide and killing himself because he couldn't deal with the pain of losing what the hell's his daughter's name again? I'm sorry, Sarah. So eventually, if something pushed him to keep going, and now he found Ellie, and like I said prior, Ellie filled that void for him. So now, and one thing I appreciated too is like they didn't drag the episode. I'm glad they kind of went right into it. So when he wakes up after being knocked out, and then Marlene tries to like tell him like, yeah, you know what, she's being prepped for surgery. I was like, what do you mean surgery for what? No, I thought you just you gotta just run some tests. And he already knew, like, nah, you're not killing her. I don't care. Like, freak humanity, bro. Like, I don't care about humanity, because that kid's my daughter now.
Right. I was gonna say that there was this like comment that I seen the other day where someone was saying something like, and it fit like that moment perfectly. It said something like, the world took what mattered most to Joel, so Joel took what mattered most to the world, and that fit that entire scene so perfectly.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So basically, the whole world ended just because of one stupid ass military officer.
Joel got some nerve though. He
Bro,
does.
No. You know what gets me tight, bro? Son could have just lied and said he shot them in the beginning. He could have lied, bro. They not watching him. There was nobody else there, bro. Like he could have just said, yes, sir, and like kept the mic on and just shot in the air. Bang, bang, bang. They done. You know what I'm saying?
It just goes to show you, bro. Like this world. Even look at the world we lived the past 3 years. Obviously, it wasn't an apocalypse. We thought it was, but look how easily the world governments got together to control us as people. But this is a topic for another time.
It's crazy how he held on
Illuminati confirmed
to that level though for 20 years. It's crazy how like that all just how it all just came back and turned into like that cold killing spree in the end. Like he literally had that for 20 years, bro. That's a long time, bro.
I was gonna mention that I've only really seen Joel in that mode 2 times. The one time is like towards the end when he was killing everybody at the hospital, but the other time was in the beginning of the episode when he smoked that one military guy.
Yeah.
That was trying to kill Ellie.
You mean beginning of the season? Oh,
in the beginning, yeah. Or in the show too. Like that was the only other time that, and it was because those two, like obviously at the end when he's killing the doctors, it shows like okay, his anger because he like one of his original Sarah died, and then in the beginning, you know, it made him like relive that scene in his head. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, bro, Joel is such a savage, bro. When he had these two dudes tied up in the crib, bro, he is such a savage, bro. My man said, point at the map right now where we at and where I'm going. And your answer better match up to your boys over there. And my man's pointed, killed that nigga. Man! And the other dude was like, yo, I'm not telling you nothing. He was like, it's all right. I believe your man's. Man! Savage, bro. Savage.
But yeah, like I said, the show finishes off the same way the game does. It's the exact same scene where Joel lies to Ellie about what really happened with the Fireflies, and then obviously we go into game part 2. And for a while, right, I think it was like 6+ years, The Last of Us leaves the community with this big question of should have Joel done what he has done. A lot of people would have said no, right? But I feel like the people who can only truly answer a question like that is people who has lost their child to something that wasn't fair to them at all. And unless you're able to truly relate to something like that, or not even just your child, but losing someone so important to you, right, to something that's not even your fault, right? I don't think you can really say like, would you really give up what is most important to saving humanity in order to save what matters most to you? It's very selfish, but then again, right, like in a world like that, you just don't care, bro. You just like whatever.
Yeah, like we made it this far. Like why are we gonna stop? Why kill this one? Like I said, it brings me back to my philosophy class in college. Worst class ever, by the way. But one good question the professor asked was like a hypothetical, like when it comes to your own ethics or whatever. Like you see one person on a train track tied up, and you see 5 tied up in the other train track. You pull one lever to save the one person to kill the 5, or you leave it and let it kill the one and save the other 5. Makes you think for a little bit. Like either way, I see it as a lose-lose situation. But in this case, it's the emotion that's behind that. Like I said, Ellie filled that void for Joel. Joel, he was ripped. His daughter was ripped from his life, and he got that fatherly instinct back. So now he became attached to Ellie. And he's like, because Ellie is the same age as Sarah was, right, at the time. Like when Sarah died, she was like, what, 12, 13, 14?
Yeah.
I think wasn't Ellie a little bit older? I don't know.
Ellie might be a little bit older, but I think Sarah was like maybe 12, and then Ellie's like 14. But and it's like he's picking up where he left off with Sarah. So he's like, nah, like I'm not gonna make that same mistake. You're not gonna take this girl from me either. So like Miguel said, like you're not Matthew said, sorry, the comment. I was like, the world took his daughter away, so now he pretty much screwed the world by saving Ellie.
Joel had a bone to pick with the world,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really speak on it just because of the simple fact of what Matthew said. Like, you can't really relate unless
Right.
you're in that situation, like where you have to choose, like your child or a figure that's like your child to you. You know what I'm saying?
Take the child out of the equation, just straight up. What if like it was like your mom's or your pops? You know what I mean? Like we're not.
Damn.
Damn,
yo.
Pablo's a father. He's a parent now. That's like we get it. Ezra, let's say Ezra's immune and he's the cure. Pablo's not gonna let some doctor kill Ezra to save the world.
No.
Exactly.
But that's what I was gonna say though.
But see, I was gonna get to that though, because it's like I feel like I get why he did it, whether that was blood or not, but like, even as a person that can't really relate, I feel like the only thing that would have made me like not be with the idea of that 100% is if it was my blood. You know what I'm saying? Like my actual I feel like if I was in the same situation, even if it was a void filled, I feel like if she wasn't my blood, I feel like I would have that little percentage like of like, all right, nah, maybe this needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just like me personally. Like that's how I feel. I feel like the only thing that'll make it like 100% like, nah, fuck out of here, is that if it's my actual child. But
right, nah, we get it, but you have to understand, during these 9 episodes and in the game too, I think a year goes by, right, Matt?
Yeah, about
pretty much about a year goes by. So you're with the same person for a year.
Yeah,
and you guys grow on each other.
She saved his life.
She saved his life. They saved each other's lives numerous times. So he's like, yo, like, why am I gonna let you die? Like, you can't be the only immune one. Like that, and that's why I felt like Joe believed strongly that Ellie wasn't the only immune one.
I don't think he believes that. I think he thinks she's the only one, and he just don't care, bro.
Fair, that's fair to say, but I don't know.
I was gonna say
he's a fictional character. I can't really say what a fictional character's thinking, but
I had no problems. I had no problems with what Joel did, with Ellie about like with not letting them kill her. Because for 100%, I would have done it if it was Ezra. But the only thing, and back when I was playing the game, I didn't like it either. Is I didn't like the fact that he lies to her at the end and told her that, oh, there's other people that are immune and all this stuff, because it literally like, I don't know. It left a bad taste in my mouth.
I think he did it for her own good. I don't think Ellie would have been able to live with herself at such a young age, knowing that Joel did that.
I get the intention, but look what happens in the next game.
It gets Joel killed. It does.
Damn.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
But
yeah. So that's my only issue with that situation was the fact that he lied to her at the end. But as far as like his decision into what, like him doing what he did and not letting Ellie get killed, like I would have thought about it as more like, oh, maybe there's no way, there has to be another way for there to be a cure, or for them to get a cure from her. Like it can't be that she has to get killed. Like as like a father, that's what I would ask. I'd be like, yo, is there any other way for something, like for a cure to be like created? Like, do you have to kill, like, so
yeah,
that's something that I would have like asked at least, But
I mean, but
I think Joel did ask.
Yeah, like, they kind of answered that. Marlene kind of answered why it had to be the way it had to be. Like she basically explained that the only possible thing they could use was in her brain. Like they couldn't
Yeah,
use
because
any.
the fungus takes over your brain.
The
It had to go straight to the brain.
the cordyceps, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But we can wrap up with this
Because she already tried her blood. Remember, she tried to rub her blood on wounds and all that stuff. It doesn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah, but I feel like if I don't know. I mean, I don't know because whatever. But if this happened in the real world, I feel like there had to have been another way created just to at least trying to figure it out.
I mean, it's just you got to think about it this way, Pablo. They already stated the difficulty of the situation in the very beginning of the episode. I mean, not the beginning of the episode, the beginning of the series, when the doctors were having the interview. There's not supposed to be any way to even stop that. Like, you know what I mean? A cure is not even supposed to even be possible for fungus. So it's like you got to think about it that way, bro. Like there's not even supposed to be a way. It's supposed to be impossible. So like if they find one way, like what really makes you think there will be any other way, bro? It's supposed to be that one way that they found. It was not even supposed to exist.
But yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like the fact that there was a cure, they were saying there's no cure for it.
Matter of fact, you know what it was. You know why it had to be that way is because they said what came from her brain. It's not something. It wasn't necessarily like a straight up like cure per se. It was something that sends signals to the fungus and makes it believe that all the other cells in your body are the same as it. So you don't you know what I'm saying? Like so the fungus will still be in you, but you won't be like infected, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll still stay human because the fungus will be confused in your brain. So the rest of your body won't get infected and taken over. That's kind of basically what they were. Well, Marlene said something along those lines. Like it's about signals, something in her brain that sends signals to the fungus.
Yeah, but
then can you really? My fault.
No. Go ahead.
I'm not good with the science stuff, but then in that case, like, how can you find a cure that way if it's like something like that has to do with brain signals?
Because it's something that's only in her brain.
Okay,
that they have to remove.
I'm gonna step in, but this whole cordyceps thing, along with the fungi and fungus, isn't even true in our real world, right? Like,
oh yeah,
like so, like to explain it from a scientific perspective on
fungus,
something.
The fungus is
no, it is, but
right.
Right. It just wouldn't exist amongst humans, right? So to try and explain how it would actually make sense, how that cure actually makes sense, is a fail from the get-go, because that doesn't even that fungi living in human beings doesn't even make sense to begin with. But it's basically like a what if scenario. Like, what if fungi was actually able to live amongst human beings? You know
the crazy thing is, when it comes to science, there's actually a lot of people out there that might say you're not right, Matthew.
No, because there is right.
In regards to science, everything evolves. Everything.
Right. It is. But the way fungi, attacks and gets inside the brains of an ant is completely different compared to how it would be amongst a human being.
Oh no, yeah, of course. But the whole fictional idea of the show was basically about the evolution of the fungi.
Right. That's what I was trying to say. Right. Like, what if it evolved to the point where it could do this?
There might be people that'll tell you like, oh, it's possible in 1,000 years. Like the fungus could evolve. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people out there, bro, that'll believe anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But in regards to science, everything that is life has the possibility to evolve, and fungi is life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. But something off topic before we wrap up. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I don't know if I don't know if I want to consider this a spoiler, but they zoomed in on the doctor after Joel shoots him. And remember him.
Did you say that, Pablo?
I did, but it's okay.
Wait, you did?
Yo, you late.
But all right, never mind. But yeah, I was saying.
When you said that?
I said that when we were talking about the scene.
Yeah, I remember.
At the end. But no, it's true.
Okay,
they zoomed in. They zoomed in on the. It's okay. They zoomed in on the doctor, and it just showed. I thought that was cool. It kind of just showed that there are more things to come.
He said that right before I mentioned the part about the doctor getting his hairline pushed back after picking up the scalpel.
Yo,
maybe that's why. Maybe that's why, because that.
Oh, because Miguel interrupted you a little bit. Yeah, I got you.
I'll
disregard what I said.
All right, but
I'm late.
We can wrap up. We can wrap up with this last question. We can wrap up with this last question. Okay, Pab can go first because I personally want him to go first for this. How would we rate The Last of Us season 8 on HBO Max season 1 out of 10? Pab, you go first. So he doesn't right off Miguel's opinion.
Suck my balls. Honestly, I'll give it a 9.5.
9.5?
All right.
Okay. Fred, you can go. So no one can right off Miguel.
I'm biased. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10? Okay, Miguel?
I give it a 9.8.
Respectable. But I don't appreciate the intensity.
Yo. Nah, matter of fact, put him back on.
Yo, you already know. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Wait, what about Matthew?
Me, I'll probably go with Pab. I'll probably go with I'll probably give it a 9.5. I'll give it a 9.5.
Wow, you riding my balls.
I'll give it a 9.5. But it's definitely still positive rating. All of us.
Nah, listen. This show was definitely one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Like
100%.
I'm pretty sure that 9.5 for y'all only really came from like the little things like his injuries.
Right. Yeah.
It was just little stuff, but the main part, like the show as a whole, is so good. Like it'll for me personally, it'll definitely go down as one of the top shows ever.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that from experience, when they try to create or make an adaptation show or movie from a video game, like 9.9 out of 10 out of freaking times they do this, it sucks.
Yeah,
like same thing with anime. Like when they make live action anime, it's garbage.
Dragon Ball anime, bro. There's like two good live action anime movies out of 3,000.
Bro,
really?
It's like
what two?
I mean, I could think of a couple that weren't bad, like
Dragon Ball Evolution.
Dragon
Ball Evolution could suck my.
That was one of the worst ones, bro.
The end of the episode.
That was one of the worst ones, bro. My man's did Kamehameha and fired blue smoke that took to like put out candles.
And he did Kamehameha.
Okay, we're getting off topic. We're getting off topic.
But anyways, yo, what a freaking idiot, yo.
Rurouni Kenshin wasn't a bad one. Rurouni Kenshin was pretty good.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, I said that was a pretty good one. Rurouni Kenshin.
That's what I'm saying. It was good.
Action. Yeah, it was pretty good, bro.
Bro, I love Rurouni Kenshin.
No, the live action one was not bad. Like when I first saw it, I thought the fight scenes were gonna look super fake, like OD. It actually was not bad,
but it didn't. But you see, I feel like samurai, like because I've seen samurai movies.
It's easier to mimic samurais though. Yeah. It's easier to mimic samurais in shows. Yeah. Like Dragon Ball, you can't really. Yeah. Can't do that in live action, bro. It doesn't work.
No.
But yeah, like what Freddy said, I agree with Freddy. Like look at freaking. Damn,
bro! Like the only video game movie.
I was gonna say Mortal Kombat or a little.
Bit. Garbage. Even the remake.
Sonic.
Sonic
wasn't
I'm
that
talking
bad.
about the old one.
Yeah, that was garbage.
Mortal Kombat wasn't bad to me. I liked it.
That one wasn't
the last one. The only thing I didn't like about the last one is that they added that fake ass character that never existed.
I'm not even talking about the last one. I'm talking about the old one.
The old.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie wasn't that bad.
No, I was gonna get to that. Like that's the only one. Like
Mario about to be fire.
Mario
about to be fire. I don't care.
Yo, that's it. I'm buying the tickets now. We're not going to Jersey though.
Got him.
All right. We can wrap up the podcast episode here. Fred, you want to close this out?
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys following us through this Last of Us journey with us. Oh man, what a ride this has been. You heard our ratings. This show was freaking top tier. And I'm glad they did us fans justice. I'm glad they did the video game justice. But please tune in for more episodes. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to turn on your notifications. Follow me, Freddy2Roll, on Twitch. Follow my boy Miggy Slap on Twitch and Kick, the new streaming app. We're not sponsored by them, but follow that kid on Kick. And then my boy Pbl31. Let's go Yankees. Let's go. Let's get it, babies. And my boy Pbl Gaming. Follow him on Twitch and YouTube. All right, everybody. Peace. True crew.
Peace.
You know, baby.
君の中にある赤と青き線それらが結ばれるのは心の像